Okay, so that's usually kind of how I start. But remember, I showed you another way that you could do this, and that is using labels as your to-do marker. So if you wanted to do that, you would be sorting over here by label. Some folks really don't have a need to use this progress area at all. So if you don't need to sort by that, then by all means, I would just go in here and click that away. It's just going to clutter it up. If you're a very lean kind of writer and you just know you're going to write your scenes, you want to use your label as just tell me which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done, then I would recommend you take this route. Then you could come and set it up just like this. So again, we have labels marked to do next, done, and so forth. And I think the one real benefit of this is if you really appreciate colors to show your progress, which I honestly kind of do sometimes. And so that means you could look over here in the binder, and we'll go ahead and turn on the label color in binder. That's the one you'd want, because then you can quickly have a visual of where you're at, right? You know the red ones you need to work on. You know the blue ones are marked next. And the green ones, well, you don't have to worry about. So a cool little trick that I learned is if people are using their labels this way, and you might look over here and this might bother you like it does me if you kind of have that OCD nature where you kind of want the greens to be grouped together and you just want it to be in order. It would be kind of nice, wouldn't it, if you could have it match this outline view? So for instance, let's say you're sorting by this label and you wanted to sort like this. So you wanted to show all of your done files or documents first, just like this, and then you wanted them to be grouped next. Now notice in your writing process, you may have jumped around because look, we have 22, 17, 13. So it's kind of sporadic. But now let's say, all right, we want that organized in the binder as what I should work on next. So I found this cool little tip. So you can literally highlight these, okay? Click the top level document. I'm going to hold down my shift key and select the bottom document. That will select everything in that range. Now, if I drag and drop this over right onto the same folder that these are in, it will automatically rearrange them for me. I thought this was kind of cool. So if you're going to be writing like this, you might want to know that this is an option. So watch this. I can simply drag and drop, boom. Just like that, it reorganized everything in my binder to match the order that I had shown in my outline view. So it didn't like duplicate them. It didn't do anything. It just automatically knew that you're referencing the files that are in this folder, what's shown here. So now they're nice and lined up, and I could say, all right, I'm going to come in here. I can quickly see this one's my next one. It's blue. I already sorted it in the outliner. This is what I work on. So when we're done with this one, what do? Well, we can change the label right here. We could right click and choose label. All right, we're going to say done. Now, when I move, that one is green now. And I could just come through here and do that until I mark all of these green. Pretty cool, right? I kind of like that little trick. And then so if you wanted to change that order again, well, simply click on your top level folder, come in here, okay? And this is where you can change your label. You can sort by title. So if you wanted to sort by title again, you could do that. And then you just drag and drop them over here. So I thought I'd share that with you. I was playing with that actually this last week, and I was like, that's pretty amazing. Some folks might want to use that. I might want to use that. So I thought I'd share it with you. Now, let me show you one other thing you could do. And I think you're probably going to like one of these three. And so that's why I just wanted to share them, kind of give you a quick refresher. The other thing you could do, and this time I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn the binder off because we are going to talk about over here. You could use icons instead of colors. So let's say you like the idea of having a visual element over here in the binder, but you're using labels as like point of view or something that doesn't make sense that way. Then I would recommend for you to go ahead and use icons. A couple of my favorite icons to use for this are these flags. That's one because they have all the different colors here. So again, you could do red flags. Let's just say we were going to do, those flags are green because those are the ones that are done. Whoops, I went right to label. Did you see that? So we're going to go flag here and we're going to choose green. And then this is going to look similar to how it was before. Now from here, I'm going to just choose blue because that was like our next. And these ones were done, right? So we're going to go ahead and choose red for those. So the flags can kind of duplicate all of that setup that I had a minute ago. And so there you go. It's not quite as bold, but you can see that's another way that you could organize. And so as you finish the document, you could right click, change icon, and we'll turn that flag green. Now, if you remember when we talked about icons, you know that just scratches the surface with what you could do with icons. You could go out to the Noun project, find your own icons to use for that. You could search the web and find all different kinds of icons to use for that. Another one that works rather well here is these books. So in the book section, they do have various color books here as well. And Notes also has some built-in colored ones. And if you don't like any of those, another refresher reminder is if you can use label color and it will change the color of the icons here. But again, you'd be using label in that way. So that's just one way to kind of still have a visual reference and keep label and progress stamps intact. Okay? So 3 different ways. Figure out which one you like the best and roll with it. And you can always change it up as you go.